All right. 5, 4, 3, 2. Take 3 Wrestling Podcast coming to you on April 28th, 2022. I'm your host, Earnest EJ Christian, alongside Mike Bernier and Mike Bernier. Joe was a little late. He's stuck in the rain, singing in the rain. He'll be here in a couple minutes, hopefully. So, Mikey, what's up?
I have a third member of the show.
Who is?
Say hi, Craig.
Yo, he's watching the draft.
Yeah, but he'll chime in. He's just over there. He's not getting up.
All right. Anyway, we got a good show for you tonight. As Joe will get here. Joe will be here.
I mean, do we have a good show for them, or do we just have a show for them? Because right now it's the Take 1.5 podcast. I count as one. You count as half.
Wait, is it because you're fully fat and I'm fully half fat?
No, it's because I use my full brain and you don't.
That's true. That's
Exactly.
some truth to that. Yeah. Anyway, let's get my talk first. Of course, subscribe to the Earnestly podcast. Of course, is on the feed, and all that. By the way, how's your?
Before we start your topic, allow me to send best wishes to a speedy recovery to former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Will Ospreay, who tested positive for COVID-19.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Shit. Also, I hope Bobby Lashley's okay. I don't know if you saw that video of Lashley.
I did. I shared it with Craig.
Oh, I cringed when I saw that.
Also, to the Impact Wrestling roster, sorry that you lost the Ilconics inspiration, as they're taking a step away from wrestling. Hopefully it's a positive reason for Cassie and Jesse, because the wrestling world will miss them while they're gone, but hopefully they'll be back shortly.
Any speculation why they're doing this?
No.
None? Nothing's leaked out? Nothing whatsoever? No?
I mean, to be honest with you, I think that they would both be great doing roles in Hollywood. So I don't know if they're going to go do acting or anything like that. But I haven't heard anything, and even if I did, I'm not one of those guys that likes to speculate without any kind of real evidence, because they're actual people too. I don't want to be that guy.
Oh, I get it, but where's the fun of that? Fucking podcast.
I get it. It's a podcast, but there's just some things that let them tell us when they're ready.
Well, hopefully everything's well there with those two, and hopefully
that's all I'm hoping for, is that we're going to do some stuff outside of wrestling, but we'll be back.
Yeah. Well, it is Randy Orton week. Randy Orton debuted on WWE television this week, 20 years ago. And I actually recorded a little something I'm putting on this feed in 2 days. About top 10 stuff. Well, not Orton's top 10. That'll drop over the weekend. But I wanted to bring a discussion here. I know back in October, November, we did a little Randy Orton appreciation segment on the show. We didn't go into much detail at the time. I didn't think at the time we were thinking about 20 years and stuff. We just kind of brought it up out of nowhere randomly. I see pants in the background. Is that your pants? Can you fit in those pants?
No.
Okay. That was a snap call. No, by the way. No. But this week is actually 20th anniversary of Randy Orton's debut on WWE roster. And you guys, people know this is the podcast. They know by now that what's weird for me is that I was away for, I would say, 85% of Randy Orton's run. Because remember, I stopped watching wrestling. People don't know, I stopped watching wrestling right after WrestleMania 18, which was at the end of March. Orton debuted weeks later. I stopped watching. Obviously, know who Orton was through the years, but didn't really watch his run. So I'm watching all this stuff in hindsight and whatnot. And obviously, he's had a fantastic career, arguably one of the best careers in history of pro wrestling.
Sounded like you just said Kai and Tai.
Kai and Tai. Remember Kai and Tai?
Yeah. Takamichinoku and Dick to go.
Dick to go. So I guess we can kind of revisit what we discussed back in the fall today, but probably more because I wasn't going to do this initially, but then I got into a big discussion on Twitter on Monday, which got a lot of people in the IWC pretty much jacked up, and great discussions about Orton's career and where he ranked. And all
Wait, the IWC got in their feelings? I would have never have guessed.
No, to be honest, it was actually pretty cordial. It was actually pretty cordial, to be honest with you.
Oh my God, they didn't say something they shouldn't? Wow, I'm so surprised.
No, exactly. It's weird, I know. Some of the podcasts we deal with, I deal with also too on a daily basis. We discuss Orton's career. So like I recorded something for the Wrestling Retrospective podcast, which will drop on Saturday or Sunday this week. I never decided to drop it. Basically, the title being, is Randy Orton a top 10 all-time WWE superstar? And we discuss, like, obviously all these discussions about WWE Mount Rushmores and who's of this era, that era. I don't think I don't think it's an argument that he's probably Mount Rushmore of the last 20 years. I think that's an argument.
Yeah, snap call.
Snap call. I mean, looking at Bruce Wrestling era, PG into this era now. I mean, obviously Cena's in there, and fucking, I guess Lesnar was still considered to be there.
Sure.
I mean, and then there's Orton, and you can debate fourth spot, whatever. Maybe it's Roman, maybe it's not Roman. I don't know, but his career has been it's 20 years, and I've said this for a while now, that to me, when I look at Orton, my best comparison of Orton outside the parlance of WWE and pro wrestling, I call him the Tim Duncan of the WWE, because he's never too high or too low. He's been so steady throughout his 20-year career. Obviously, there's been some hiccups here and there in terms of like personal issues, but for the most part, he's never missed any significant amount of time. Really, he's always been there, pretty much. I mean, to my knowledge, anyway. I mean, I don't remember him being out more than maybe, I'd say, like 4 or 5 months at a time, maybe, if that, and it's been very minimal at best.
Yeah.
So, so like, to me, like, I look at Orton, like, he's still climbing in that area. Well, I'm not so much as character, but more so just as a presence. He's in that now Undertaker-ish type of thing now. Never the tippy top guy, but the most dependable guy in the roster. Where, longevity factor. So Taker, obviously 30-year career, retired last year, or a year and some amount of change ago. Orton's now 20 years in now. And I'm sorry, I think this guy will be going another 10 years, 5-10 years, easily. He's in fantastic shape. It's easier to do this now in this era than at any point of pro wrestling.
It also doesn't help that they're not traveling as much.
That helps too, especially.
He got a couple years of not having to pull the loop and do 4 nights and then have 1 night off and then pull the loop again and then have 1 night off. That unfortunately a lot of guys, Cena, the name that pops out, was having to make towns every night to make sure that the crowd got what they paid for and shit like that.
Let me ask you this: when did you first see Randy Orton?
His debut.
Oh, you were there from the beginning. And what was your impression? Did you see him and say, "Yeah, that's the guy"?
I don't know if that was my first finger on it. Was more like because I remember his debut and they were like, "Oh, this is 2nd generation or 3rd generation Randy Orton," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, so he's got some lineage, so he's definitely gonna know what he's doing."
Right.
Good guess.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I think it was just the normal, let's see what happens kind of thing. He has all the potential in the world. He had the look. He had the charisma. That wasn't never in question. I knew he'd get cheered because, the ladies in the crowd would always, woo, every time he came out. So, so it was one of those things where it worked. It worked for his character.
That's gotta be
that's fine. I don't know that I would have said that he would be a top 10 all time when he made his debut, but I would say that he's a guy that's, as long as health goes his way, that he'll be serviceable for an extended period of time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If looking at the guys at OPW back in 2001, 2002, like Cena, Lesnar, Orton, Batista, Shelton Benjamin, a couple other guys that were there at the time, trying to crack the WWE main roster. I would have guessed Orton would have been someone that would have been a star from the word go. Just, he had the look. He was great in the ring. Like he had the package. Like you look at the OVW highlight stuff. It's like yeah, that guy is definitely. He may not be the top guy, but that guy stands out more than anybody else.
Well, the only negative that I know Randy had going against him was his attitude.
Right.
So that was one of those things where. What?
No. Go ahead.
You're frozen on my screen, so.
I am?
Yeah.
I hear you though.
No, that's fine. No, so Yeah, he was always fighting against himself. Once he finally got himself figured out, he was definitely going to be a major player. He obviously had a head start on a couple guys, Benjamin and Brock Lesnar per se, because, those guys were collegiate wrestlers and, they weren't doing the bumps and everything that guys like Randy was doing right away. So, yeah, but Randy was definitely a major player.
Now you're cutting it off now. Oh, we ain't doing this bullshit again. Fuck that. If this happens, I'm going to my phone immediately. I'm not even going to fuck with this.
All right, whatever.
It's okay. Hold on. Give me a second. Because you froze on my end now, too.
Great. So for those of you at home that are going to get this,
and I didn't. It's all right. I'm gonna go into.
They call me Dr. Love. Oh, the pick is in for the New England Patriots.
Offensive lineman from Tennessee.
Fuck.
Not even fucking around.
Oh, there he is.
Still recording. Okay.
Yeah, so I know you're not going to edit this, so we'll just go right back into our conversation. Orton. Once he figured out his own self-demons, the only thing that was going to stop him was however far he wanted to go and, what he wanted to do. So definitely a major player right away. Went right into Evolution, which, Evolution is a mystery. Youngest world champion at the time. I can't say enough positive things about Randy Orton. I will probably tell you guys this much. It'll be a hard opportunity for him not to be in my top 10 of the 40 that we're inevitably going to do.
Well, I mean, when I did my podcast a while ago, I wasn't even like doing it in rankings. I just like the best, like, and this is what we were saying on social media about, okay, so instead of like ranking them, just put your guys that no matter where you rank them in the top 10, they're in the 10 minus slices. It's the easy way to do it. So who your lock 10s, obviously. So the Hogans, the Cenas, the Austins, the Rocks, the Michaels, the Bretts, the Takers. So that was my 7. Who am I missing on that one? Savage 8. So then you have two. In my opinion, you have 2 guys really that you can debate. Like 8 through 15 is actually really interesting because you can go anywhere. You can go Jericho, you can go Angle, you can go Guerrero. I mean, there's a lot of names in the hat. I came up with I actually ended up having Lesnar in as my 9th guy, and then 10 became interesting because 10 was like, okay, well, I'm missing Hunter, so it's between Hunter and Orton. Like you and I agreed that that Orton was definitely locked 20, definitely 15, and closer to 10 you realize. So then you start.
I believe I said I was going to probably have him in my top 10.
Okay. So So like,
I will have him ahead of Savage.
I think as the time goes on, that might be the case. I think as what's going to help his case, especially too, is longevity. I think you can make an argument then. Let's say
if I'm just putting WWE run versus WWE run,
right?
I'm taking Orton. If you put in the WCW stuff, then we can have a conversation about who it is. But Orton, Grand Slam has held pretty much every title that they've fucking had. Tag team, stable, didn't matter. Randy was always there. I take that over a couple of cocaine-fueled WrestleManias and, the Miss Elizabeth storyline personally. That doesn't mean that Savage won't be in my top 15 because I think it's an absolute slam dunk that he's somewhere in the 11 through 15 range. But I don't have him ahead of Randy.
Randy.
Well, the thing is Randy's also never been a face until now.
He was he in the Christian feud? Like,
yeah, he's always been a dick.
Smidge?
Yeah, he's always been a dick.
He's a
even whenever Evolution turned on him, he was still a dick.
I mean, he's best as a heel anyway.
He's the Ricochet of storylines. He's still a dick.
But
I think I mean, unless it was one of those like short 3-month runs where he was a face and then turned on somebody right away again. I've never really seen Orton have this much comical fun and this much of being a face as he has with Riddle, and I think that's something that you can't take for granted because that's something that Randy's never had the ability to do. And I think Randy's taken the ball and ran with it. And I think I've enjoyed this Randy Orton as much as I've enjoyed probably any other Randy Orton outside of Evolution. And that's even with Legacy, Cody Rhodes, and Ted DiBiase Jr. That was his stuff with Taker and his dad. So yeah, no. I think that there's a very strong chance that Randy Orton will be in my top 10. Probably closer than most people will have him towards a top spot.
So spoiler alert, I had him 11, but you can argue 10B because as I told you, I gave my lock 7, lock 8. Okay, 9 was Lesnar, and it was really the Triple H and Orton, and both guys really mirror each other. You think about it, both guys have the argument of longevity. I think the only edge that Triple H has his point was the stuff he's done, not just in the ring, but also with NXT and all that, the influence he's had in the business out, obviously, as he's gotten older. But
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, spoiler alert, Triple H might end up in my top 3.
Whoa. We're gonna do a WWE 40 very, in a few months. So obviously it's gonna be fun, and we're gonna figure that out going forward. I recorded a podcast earlier today on the Orton top 10 discussion, and I said this too. Also, the same thing you're saying, that I think in 5 years, Orton's a lock top 10, and you have to take out guys like Savage and guys like, honestly, Bret Hart probably might be on that list too as well.
I don't know that I'll have Bret Hart in my top 10.
Ooh, don't piss Jim off. Don't piss him off.
See, that's what happens. Jim doesn't come on the show. Fuck Bret Hart.
He's on the show. Hey, Bret Hart.
No, not hey, Bret Hart. We just wouldn't have a Bret Hart conversation.
But again, what's the fun in that?
I respect Jim.
That's true.
We had a civil debate on fuck Bret Hart, and we've moved on from our debate on fuck Bret Hart.
Find the archives, by the way.
Again, oh, this pick is in for the Bengals. Let's go somebody. I don't know who.
Is Bengals on the clock yet?
Oh, yeah, I know who it is.
The pick is in.
Oh, the Bengals?
Yeah, Craig knows who it is, but he's not telling me yet, thankfully.
Do you get another offensive lineman?
Sure, why not? That or defense, one of the two.
No,
we should draft a punter. Evan McPherson worked out really well for us when we drafted a kicker. We should draft a punter. Legendary.
Punting with no Super Bowl. The Orton's career is, like I said, it's one of those things where, the more you I didn't get the hype initially. I was like, okay, he's good, but why is he so revered? And then the more you watch him, you're like, oh, I get it now. I get it. He's really that good. The psychology is what stands with me more than anything else. He gets the business. He gets the little things right.
I mean, we're 1 3-month Randy Orton title run away from Drew McIntyre holding the title from WrestleMania to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Fight Corbin.
No fan. Champion, kind of thing. So, I look at it from that perspective. Randy's always been that guy. You can go to Randy for whatever you need. Oh, we need him to win the title. We need him to lose to somebody. We need him to put somebody over. I mean, hell, WrestleMania 30, the Miracle on Bourbon Street with Bryan. I mean, he was in the triple threat match with Batista bumping his fucking ass off.
Right.
I can't say enough positive things about Randy and what he's done for the business and what he's done for the guys. I mean, hell, one of his best stuff was his stuff with FTR when it was FTRKO. And the three of them worked together before.
What? That was the thing?
Before Dax and Cash now left and went to AEW. Towards the end, he was working with them, and they were a trio. That stuff was really fun. Randy's always been good, and Randy will always be a guy that I will hold to a higher standard for his in-ring stuff. So you'll never hear me say a bad word about Randy, the wrestler. You may hear about or the man. You might hear me say a bad thing about his character and the role that he's playing, but you won't hear me say many negative things about the individual himself. So definitely kudos to Randy. Congratulations on 20 years. I'm excited to see what happens next for him. I'm excited to see basically what happens with this whole RK Bro stuff. I mean, I hope it doesn't end with the two of them feuding, but the way this has always ended in WWE is there's some kind of feud.
Of course.
We can't just go our separate ways and move on with our lives. There always has to be somebody getting kicked in the ding ding and then punted, and then they're out for 3 weeks. So
he's having so much fun doing this RK Bro. Like we found out this couple days ago that
stop
a couple weeks thing, couple week angle. Oh, we got an update. Is it a punter?
Hell yeah, Daxton Hill, safety from Michigan. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's get more defense.
Welcome to the jungle.
We're building, boys. We're building to a title.
Tough AFC this year, though. I'll tell you that much.
I don't know. Roger Goodell just announced us as the AFC champion, so GFY.
I'm not saying you're not. I'm just saying it's a tough AFC this year. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who's the defending AFC champions?
You guys.
Okay.
I'm okay with them. I moved guys with the Super Bowl last year. Come on.
Damn, Minnesota snap picked already? Jesus. Snap picks. All right. Moving on to my topic. I think we've talked enough.
You can do that.
Safety from Georgia.
They took a safety from Georgia? All right. All right. So my topic this week is going to be about we're talking about WWE wrestlers and Randy Orton. I want to talk about the negatives that have occurred. I want to talk about the people that may have been misses in the All Elite Wrestling company that have come from the WWE. So your Chris Jericho's,
Tony's company, Tony guy, the Tony guy,
Tony Cocaine's,
Tony Cocaine, Tony Cocan.
Yeah, Tony Cocan.
Yeah, I like that. Tony Cocan.
Tony Cocanye.
Oh, I like that.
You're welcome. So we
got patent that.
Obviously Jericho, Moxley, Bryan, Punk, guys that fit that role. FTR,
Andrade.
But there have been misses. Buddy, Andrade, Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, Keith Lee, Lance Archer. I mean, there have been guys that have been misses since they've come to AEW. Whether it be Tony with the overhype, huge announcement, or it's we're going to use them for 3 weeks and then they're going to fall off the fucking face of the earth, a la see Brian Cage. I mean, I don't want to like rapid fire it, but because we don't have Joe on, we probably could rapid fire and say if we're thumbs up or thumbs down on former WWE guys in AEW.
So I'm gonna run down. You want to list the guys?
Sure, I'll run. I'm going to open up my Wikipedia page and we can rapid fire it because we have
wiki.
I'm just saying we have time because we're waiting on Joe, obviously, to see if he makes it.
Okay.
So we have a little bit of time. So let me go to the roster real quick because
I'm gonna try. If I lose you, I'm gonna call you back. But I'm gonna try to cut this off because it's still recording actually.
Oh, okay.
On my computer, but when I opened the Skype, it was Skype on my phone. It's still recording.
The Skype.
The Skype. Let me see if it's recording. Hold on a second. That's a good. I think we're good.
It still says that you're recording on my end.
The recording. Yes.
Oh,
so that's awesome. That's good to know though, going forward in the future.
All right, number 1. Boom.
No Gian.
No, I'm gonna go alphabetical order.
Go ahead, Paul. He hasn't been a miss. He's been used. I mean, obviously we may not like the direction he's going right now. I don't know. I okay with the most part. I don't think he's been a miss. I think he's been pretty. I mean, he already got a title shot, 2 title shots actually since September. I think he's been used like a star, the way he was in NXT. He has obviously he gets popped, so I don't think he's been a miss. I think he's been. I mean, we can argue about the future booking and whatnot, and if you like what direction they're going in. But in terms of him being AEW, he's definitely a star on that roster.
I'm gonna go push.
Okay.
I don't think they've done anything extraordinary with Adam.
Right.
But I don't think they've done anything that's been detrimental to him or the company.
Right.
It's just kind of been like, we knew he was going to come in. We knew he was going to get pushed right away. We knew he'd probably end up in a title feud, especially with Fish and O'Reilly coming with him.
Mm-hmm.
Now with this whole Undisputed Elite stuff, it's obviously going to lead to the three of them turning on the Bucks, which is going to lead to a 6-man tag with Kenny.
Right.
It is what it is to me. It's pretty transparent that looks to be the route that they're going. So I'm going to say push just because the stuff with Paige was good, but not great.
Right.
And you expect greatness from the two of them. It wasn't great. Is that the two of their styles not meshing very well, or is that a shitty storyline to get us there? I don't know. I
it's
can't.
Too early. It's just too early. I would have them see him get a TNT title shot as opposed to the.
That's the other reason why I kind of said was push was because you expected what he got. Nothing has surprised me.
Right. In
the Adam Cole era in All Elite Wrestling. So that's why I'm more of a push than a thumbs up or a thumbs down, because I don't want to. I want to believe that him and Adam Page are going to have another match sometime down the road, and it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be greater than what they did in the previous matches. But I'm holding my breath that we get there.
I also feel like they're waiting for Omega to return to really start.
I mean, I think that's just the easy storyline. The Bucks and Kenny versus the Elite. So I just think that's easy.
Right.
Next up, we talked about him. We mentioned his name, Andrade El Edolo.
There's obvious disappointment. There's obvious disappointment.
Yeah, definite thumbs down.
Now he's had great matches. Let's give him that when he's on TV, but he's not on TV much. And
he's part of the Andrade Hardy family offering.
Right. They're trying to find. Oh, look who's arrived. There he is.
To be fair, I had a rain delay. I am a walking baseball game.
Okay. You're forgiven. You're forgiven, buddy.
I wanted to be here sooner, but
I know it's okay.
It's raining biblically outside right now. Have you looked out the window?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah, it's pretty bad out here too.
It's crazy. Like I was standing. Okay, I literally just got in my Uber from outside the restaurant and then got out right outside like the staircase to get into my apartment. Was soaking wet. All it took was like the 2 seconds in between the car and awnings that were not doing their job because rain.
Yeah, that sucks.
So what I missed? Catch me up.
They missed the first segment, the Orton segment. Appreciates Orton.
We did that like 3 months ago.
No, that's what I'm saying. But we revisited it because I listened to the episode back in October, and we did touch on that, but we didn't go into really a lot of detail. I think we can bring it back again and just kind of go more. I guess the main thing here is that we were doing a top 10. Is he in the top 10 all-time WWE superstars? I had him like 11, 10B. Mike has him in his top 10 officially now. And like I said, this is a conversation. This started from a conversation I had on Monday on social media with a bunch of people, on Twitter, and it ended up being this big fucking conversation with a bunch of.
It also started with the breaking news that I have Triple H in my top 3 of my WWE 40.
Allegedly, yeah.
I can see that.
No, there's no alleged to it, but he's in my top 3.
Well, I'm saying that because we haven't done a fucking WWE 40.
There's a strong chance that he's number 1.
I mean,
interesting.
We'll get there over the summer when we do WWE 40 when Joe does a list. Actually, Joe, do you got a list, buddy?
I mean, I will at the time.
Your list is the close out of Mike's.
Joe will have a list on Wednesday night where I tell him, "Hey, you got to do this because the show's tomorrow," and he's gonna go,
"Yeah,
I can do that at work tonight."
Valid.
Number 40, Taka Michinoku. Number 39, because he has a great name, Dick to Go.
Number 25, Armbar.
To be fair, I always forget that Dick to Go was in WWE, so he probably won't make my list.
No, he definitely will because his name is Dick to Go.
So hey, Joe, without context, does Orton crack your 10?
I don't know about 10, definitely 20. I'll say definitely 15. I don't know about 10. I got to stop and think.
I swear to God, if you put Randy Savage ahead of him like fucking Numbnuts has in front of him, I am going to riot to the fucking end of the gills. I'm going to fucking riot that night.
I don't know that Savage would, but I'm just thinking like right offhand, like
Hogan.
Like I would have to make room in my top 10 for Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero.
Wow.
Those are a lot of my top 10 guys. Like honestly, like I would consider them.
You do understand that Randy Orton's longevity is better than both of those guys combined, right?
Yeah, but he also had that like 2-year stint where he really liked kicking people in the head. I don't know, that was bad.
They tried to turn Eddie Guerrero's cousin into fucking Kerwin White.
But they didn't do it to Eddie.
They had Kurt Angle be the GM of SmackDown.
He was awesome as the GM. He had Roman's cousin working for him.
It's funny, Joe, because
he also was hurt all the fucking time.
If you look up to be a top 10, and you have two guys there already that I would consider it in the top 10, not in my top 10. Like Angle and Guerrero.
Yeah, I don't have Angle or Eddie in my top 10.
Like I
love both, not in my top 10.
I got Hogan. Always got Rock, Cena, Austin, Michaels, Taker, Savage, Bret Hart. I know, fuck Bret Hart, fuck you too. And then I had Lesnar, number 9. Not in order.
I have to, when I actually sit down and do it, I have to think about what my criteria is for putting it together. So that's why, I said, I don't.
Because what I'm getting at is if the criteria is just their WWFE runs, not Hogan being a part of the NWO, not fucking Eddie Guerrero's time in WCW before he came over, not, Angle and Impact and all that shit after. The guy who's been there for 20 years and has held every fucking title and has been pretty much always there is probably going to have an upper hand on some guys that were only there for 3 or 4 years.
Like I said to you, like if you took Savage on your top 10, I'm not mad about that, actually. I said that on the podcast that's recorded today.
Yeah, I'll tell you this much. Savage will realistically be in my top 15, slam dunk top 20, but I remember Randy a lot in my childhood as being a commentator because he didn't want to wrestle anymore.
See, I'm obviously older than you guys. I did watch Savage
but I'm saying I've gone back and watched everything that I can.
No,
Savage is in the middle of his best stuff, and he's just like, you know what? I'm good.
I'm not saying that the argument is actually a good argument because I was saying on that podcast that in about a couple of years, I expect guys like Bret Hart and Savage to be out of that top 10 because you're going to make room for Roman, make room for Orton.
Good luck for Bret Hart being in my top 10.
Yeah, I don't expect that to happen. But yeah, I think when we say it's closer to 10, like to me, it's like 10A, 10B. See, the problem is it was between him and Triple H.
You have Triple H at 10. That's cute. I have him in my top 3.
No. He's not. It's not in order. I'm just trying to find 10 guys.
That's cute.
But okay. So we did that already, Joe. First topic. Second topic. Now we started the AW guys. Used to be WWE guys. Are they so far? Are they bust or not bust? We started up with Adam Cole. I said it's okay, not bad. He said push for Adam Cole. What do you say, Adam Cole?
Yeah, I went push.
So wait, what's the criteria? Like we're doing what? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle, basically.
I'm going to give a thumbs up to Adam Cole.
Okay.
Because I feel like he's having more success in AEW than he would have on Raw or SmackDown. I don't think he would have made it into the title picture on either of those where he's at least fought for the title against Paige. So I'm going to give him that,
Why the face, Mike? Why the fucking face, dude? I would much rather have Adam Cole being the role of Austin Theory on Raw and being a champion rather than losing to Adam Page and now being stuck in a fucking dumbass storyline that's going to have Kenny Omega coming back as part of a fucking...
I don't think he would have even gotten... Yeah, I don't think he would have even gotten the Austin Theory push.
You're out of your mind.
I don't think so. I don't think he would have gotten that level of a push on Raw or SmackDown.
But what has he done? What has he done on AEW that's been great?
No, I'm just saying I think he's had more success than he would have had on
Losing isn't success. Losing is losing.
being in the title picture is success.
There's no value there in that.
Yeah, that's what I think.
See, at this point, he's a stepping stone. He's the same thing that he was in NXT.
So one hand I agree with you, Mike, on that. I would rather him see him go to TNT title picture as opposed to
I'd much rather him not been in a title picture at all, and just come in and be fucking with the Red Dragon and do the shit with the Bucks and get that shit over with, rather than dragging that out for 9 fucking months. They've made that storyline in the Undisputed Era 2.0 storyline where we had fucking Bobby Fish get hurt 4 fucking times.
Okay.
I'm thumbs in the middle. I'm push because at the end of the day, I don't love what they've done from a standpoint of the matches weren't great. The matches were good.
I'll say this much: the theme music alone gives a thumbs up. The theme music and the crowd reaction gives a thumbs up for me.
He would have gotten that crowd reaction no matter where he went.
I get it. It's awesome.
There's nothing that they're doing that is made by AEW. There's nothing that they've done that they've gone out of their way to make him a better professional wrestler.
I will say, well, I agree with you. Is definitely that it's not like, oh my god, he's like the greatest thing in the world. That I agree with you on that one, and probably should have been an AEW top picture anyway. But I wouldn't say it's a bad run so far. It's a solid run, solid.
That's why I said push, just because I'm the matches weren't great.
Right. They went Andrade after that. You said Andrade after that, right? Was Andrade?
Yeah, we started the Andrade conversation and then Joe popped in.
Yeah, I already said
Andrade's a thumbs down for me.
He's a thumbs down.
Yeah, I think we all said thumbs down.
But
it's not even that they're not using him better than WWE did. They're just not using him very much.
Thank you.
Like the Darby. AEW has this weird habit of putting guys in feuds, which is great. I like the Vince Russo, Paul Heyman approach of let's make sure everyone has something to do. Here's the problem. They do it, and then they only have some of these feuds appear once every 3 months.
Right.
Like Serena Deeb and fucking Hikaru Shida have had the same feud going on since November, and they've had 3 matches. That's crazy. I don't need that to all happen in 1 month. But that's crazy that it's been 6 months and you've had almost no progress.
What's her name hurt though?
I don't know.
I thought Shida was hurt.
I mean, she could have been.
But even so, there's other feuds that fit that same mold in AEW, and I feel like Darby and Andrade is another example of that. And honestly, their casket match really wasn't all that great either. So it kind of had a womp womp ending, so right. Yeah, he was one of those guys that I kind of was hoping would come in and maybe be in the title picture of some capacity, and instead he ended up dealing with Matt Hardy and all that BS, and it's just been dumb.
I'll say this much with Andrade: when he's on TV, which is rare, obviously, he's having great matches. But
he's a guy that has great matches,
right? Go ahead, Mike.
Angelo Parker.
Who?
Jeff Parker from the Jericho.
I was gonna say he's half a 2.0.
Yeah.
Who was he? Jagged back in Chicago.
Yep. Scott Jagged Parker. Huh?
What were their names on the indie scene?
Scott Jagged Parker and Big Magic Shane Matthews.
Big Magic Shane Matthews.
I'll go push.
No, I'm giving these guys a thumbs up because they literally went from basically being jobbers in NXT to they were jobbers in AEW, but they were jobbing to Sting. Get upgrade in your jobbing. And
I went from jobbing to Damian Priest to jobbing to Sting.
Exactly. I'm sorry, that's an upgrade. You're doing better in your career when you're losing to Sting versus losing to someone on NXT. And now they're hanging with Jericho. They don't really wrestle that often. I haven't seen them in any. They're probably wrestling on Dark Elevation.
Dark Elevation Dark.
Yeah, they're probably getting all the wins against Big Shotty Lee Johnson or whatever the fuck his name is on that show.
37-0, baby. We're in line for a tag title match.
Here we go. They got more wins over QT Marshall than the Big Show does.
Right.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna give them a thumbs up just because, like, yeah, they might not be doing a lot, but they're doing a lot more than what they were. Because anytime you're hanging with Jericho and you're part of a group with him and all of that, like, come on, that's big.
Yeah.
Next up, Billy Ass of Billy Ass and the Ass Boys.
I'll say thumbs up only because they're actually being used more on TV for the last like a months.
We're the Ass Boys.
I go thumbs up.
Billy Ass and the Ass Boys.
They're at least doing something. Before they weren't. They were on fucking dark most of the time. Now they're actually
Dark Elevation Dark.
dark elevation, dark.
Dark Elevation
I go
Dark.
thumbs up. I go thumbs up actually. You too?
Billy Gunn.
Billy Gunn.
He's a hard one, right? Because you can't compare him to his heyday.
You can't compare his WWE run to his AEW run.
No, it's not like it's not even night and day. It's like night and like it's completely two different things.
It's literally like summer and winter in fucking Massachusetts.
Exactly. So no, like you can't compare in that regard.
I'm just gonna say thumbs up because
he's doing more in AEW right now than he would be in WWE.
This is a fact.
Sure. I also just enjoy the fact of his shit with Danhausen.
Yeah, fair. I'll go push on him.
That makes sense. Next up, Robert W. Fish.
He's doing the exact same thing he was doing in WWE.
I'm gonna go thumbs down.
Okay, why?
Really?
You brought them over to make your tag team division better. Your tag team division was already great. They're not bringing anything to this tag division that you don't already have.
Yeah, and I agree with you too. I feel like
promos
they blew it. They kind of blew it with the Red Dragon, Young Bucks stuff like that. I don't need them being the undisputed elite right now. I need them fighting each other.
Bingo.
I'll go push.
I'll go thumbs down.
Next
I'll
up,
agree with Mike.
Next up, Daniel Bryanson.
That's thumbs up. That's easy.
I will say that it was a push for me until this Blackpool like Fight Club thing with Uter and Mox and Regal, because I think that this has the ability to be a lot of fun. But his stuff with Paige was kind of meh to me. It wasn't. It's not that I didn't enjoy that match. That's not like, okay, I'm showing a random wrestling fan one match that AEW puts on. It's not in my top 5.
Okay.
It's probably not making a best of DVD for me. If I gotta make a best of DVD to give someone to watch 10 matches, it's probably not there. And that's a damn shame, because Adam Page and Brian Danielson, both great individual professional wrestlers.
I'll tell you,
I was expecting more from that match.
I'll tell you what top 5 with me would be the fucking Orange Cassidy Pac Omega match from last year in Double Nothing.
Sure,
that was a fantastic match. So you go down.
I'm up on Brian just because of the Blackpool Fight Club. That's it. It's different than anything he ever did in WWE, so I'm actually enjoying it. It kind of gives me throwback. You're gonna get your fucking head kicked in.
Yeah.
Ring of Honor days. So that's always been a plus for me. But if we would have done this 3 months ago, I would have been wholeheartedly thumbs down on Brian's run so far.
Okay.
I think it's a push. I'm going to go push.
Okay.
Only because I feel like he'd be doing something at the same level, if not even a higher level in WWE right now.
I think he'd be doing something on a higher level, personally.
Possibly, yeah.
I mean, he may have won the U.S. title and been feuding with Austin Theory instead of Finn Balor.
Right.
Which would have probably had just as good as matches as he had with Adam Page.
Yeah.
Next up, a man who still has not had a singles match on AEW Dynamite. We talked about him on a show either last week or the week before. The best kept secret, also in AEW, Buddy Matthews.
That's the biggest thumbs down on this list, right?
I don't know about the biggest, but it's definitely a slam thumbs down.
Like we have established, he hasn't even had a match on Dynamite yet.
Can I put like not available and N/A? Like seriously, like
No, because he's had a match on the pay-per-view pre-show. He's done things.
He's part of the roster.
He's done things. There was a sign that came out that said, "Buddy Matthews is all elite." That means you're fucking part of the roster, bud.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm thumbs down with you needing to do something crazy to get it anywhere back to being a middle.
Right.
Yeah.
Easy.
I'm just gonna snap thumb this up because these guys have had great matches ever since they've come to All Elite Wrestling, including the match last night where the guys faced each other for the first time and probably only time ever. Give me Cash and Dax. Give me FTR.
Easily thumbs up. Probably my favorite of all the WWE, cast-offs.
To be fair, I think if we were doing this like 6 to 8 months ago, they might have been closer to a push or a thumbs down. Because there was a while where they really weren't doing anything, honestly.
I think
they were part of the Pinnacle, but like the way that, Pride and Powerful was part of the Inner Circle, you really didn't have a lot going on with them.
I would have still leaned towards thumbs up because of the stuff with the Young Bucks when they first came in.
Right.
That put them on a whole nother level from the very beginning. It gave them permission to not be great for a couple months. Like there are guys like Brian could go be part of Blackpool Fight Club. It could be the greatest thing of all time. He could take 3 months off to be with his kids and Bree, and I would then come back and be like, oh yeah, still a thumbs up because that shit that he did 3 months ago was awesome.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, I'll give them I'm gonna give them a thumbs up, obviously, right now. But I do think that their pushes and them being used in AEW has increased exponentially in the last 3 months.
Right.
And I think it's also because the fact that they're now the Tony Khan Presents Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions.
Yes, 100%.
Former first ever undisputed champion, Les Champions.
Even though I hate this fucking Jericho Appreciation bullshit, you have to say thumbs up because of the run early in the first year. The first year automatically puts them in the thumbs up. Now, I don't like they've done the last year with them, obviously, but this first year and a half, I give him a thumbs up.
Is it weird to go push on him?
Because I'm kind of at the push too with him.
Only because he's another one where I say it's not like if he was in WWE, he'd be feuding with Reggie right now. He'd be out there. He would have had a big match.
He gets a harder grading scale than your Dustin Rhodes or your
Billy Gunn.
Yeah.
He gets the same one that Brian gets, where it's like you left at the top.
Him and Moxley, the three of them are the ones where you're just I can't expect that they'd be mid-card jobbers right now.
Right. Exactly. Brian literally was in the main event of WrestleMania the same year that he went to AEW. Yeah, he would have been still a big part of the show.
Within 6 months of each other too.
I'm gonna go thumbs in the middle, and it's more or less because while what they did at the Inner Circle was good, it had the potential to be great, and we kind of just pissed away Pride and Powerful.
Yeah.
Jack Swagger was nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
Do we put that on Jericho though?
If Jericho, one of those guys involved more, I think that there's one person that Tony would listen to, and I think it's Chris. I think Chris is one of those guys. He may not get creative control, but he probably has a big say in some shit that he's doing.
I feel you on the whole thing with Pride and Powerful. We've been saying this on this podcast for 2 years now. What the fuck? Let's go. Push it. So,
another man who came over from WWE. Let's go with Christian Cage.
Oh,
I'll say thumbs up only because he's doing more I thought he would be doing, honestly. At least initially.
No, he's a thumbs down because if he was on Raw or SmackDown right now, he would be someone that's involved in, at the very least, the Intercontinental U.S. title scenes. He'd be involved in this Edge storyline in some capacity, or he'd have been someone that Roman Reigns could have beat at one of these random months during his title reign. he would be used a lot more. Honestly, the way that they use him in AEW is more akin to signing a veteran quarterback to have on your team, who's like sitting on the benches, kind of helping people out, but then when you need to put him in, you know you're going to get a touchdown.
I would say now I agree with you on that.
So what you're telling me is Christian Cage is playing the role of Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yes, exactly. But the thing is, if he was in WWE right now, like Ryan Fitzpatrick gets to play every season in WWE. He doesn't really get to play every season in AEW.
It's true.
He was used a lot though early on. He was with Omega. He headlined a fucking pay-per-view.
I mean, I think that's more like, yeah, he beat Kenny Omega for the Impact Wrestling World Title.
Right.
He pinned that loss on Kenny that nobody else could, and then he fell off the fucking face of the earth and he became the Marco Stunt of Jurassic Express.
Yeah, for real. Like, I know he fit the Marco Stunt role, but they didn't have to make him fit it so much that he's like never even on TV.
I get what you're saying.
Although I do feel like from the last couple of weeks, I think a Christian Cage heel turn on Jungle Boy is imminent. I don't know where they go with it from there, but I feel like it's imminent.
And I think that's the route you go. And I think you just have Cage get a new tag partner. Maybe it's Brian Cage and we have the Cage brothers.
That's what I'm gonna do, right?
I wouldn't be against that. Or bring in Gangrel and like one up what WWE's doing.
The new Brood.
Next up, this guy's gonna get an automatic thumbs up, but I think we need to talk about him anyways because he wouldn't be in wrestling if it wasn't for AEW. It's Phil from Chicago.
Thumbs up.
Yeah, that's a thumbs up. You can't really compare. He's not one where you can be like, oh, but he'd still be in a major role in WWE or whatever, because it's hard to imagine that he'd be in WWE right now. Like,
yeah, no, it's got to be a thumbs up because he wouldn't be in the business if it was just WWE.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. And it's not like they haven't used him fantastically. It's not like he hasn't had a couple of really great feuds already in his time in AEW, and now is going to be. He's a great guy to challenge for the belt, and I don't even know that he's not going to win the belt. You know, like I feel like there's a scenario where he's the person who's the transitional champion to get it over to MJF or something like that. I feel like there's room for him to possibly take that title. Honestly,
we've had the Punk MJF stuff. I'm good.
I'm good for a little bit. Save for the whole time.
I'm good on that
right now.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about like 6 months down the road.
I would rather Max just beat Paige.
Fair.
I think it just makes so much more for Max's character. If Paige goes through everybody, and Max is just there to pick the pieces up at the end,
right?
Just makes Max such a fucking hated character, and I think it makes it so much better for them. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about like the Colt Cabanas of the world and the Eddie Kingston.
You're not going to talk about Scotty Goldman?
No, we're not going there. We're going to jump down to. We talked about him a little bit in the Jericho Appreciation Society conversation / the fucking Inner Circle. The All-American, American, Jack Swagger.
Oh, jeez. Wow. Why is he even there?
Hello, Magnum.
I thought that was a soundboard. I thought that was someone playing a soundboard.
Nope, that's Magus barking at the thunder.
I love that.
That's Thunder. I hear here too. Thunder also.
Yeah.
Easy thumbs down, buddy. Easy thumbs down.
It's only a thumbs down because he's never around.
But that too.
Which is a good reason to be a thumbs down. But I'm just saying, like, that's literally
Max, nobody.
That's literally the whole reasoning why he gets a thumbs down. It's not like he's not great. It's just that doesn't do me a lot of good if you're not there. Like you could be the best employee that a company has, but if you call out sick 3 times a week, you're not the best employee.
That's facts.
Do all agree? Thumbs down? All 3 of us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lump him in with his brother here. Let's go with the Hardy Boys.
Ooh.
The unit?
No, I'm just gonna lump them in together. We can talk about it both at the same time.
Oh, thumbs down. Thumbs down. I mean, I haven't really felt the Hardy stuff really. Matt Hardy's whole run. I haven't really
So the Hardy Boys as a tag team, I think, are a thumbs up. I'm okay. I like what they're doing so far. I like having them existing in the AEW tag team scene. I think that that's great stuff, honestly. Right. So I'm a fan of where they're going right now. It's been a long, painful road to get there with Matt Hardy. I'll say that.
Yeah.
He's probably had one of the worst runs of anyone who's jumped over, because they didn't know what to do with him. They tried to get the broken Matt Hardy stuff to work. It didn't. Then they tried to do like him doing all his different timelines, and it didn't work. Then they tried to do that big money Matt thing. That was awful. So Team Extreme Matt Hardy might actually be the best version of Matt Hardy that we will ever get in
Matt
AEW.
Harvey? Did you just say Matt Harvey, Mike Adams?
No comment.
If you were saying Matt by himself, definitely was thumbs down. But if you're going to bring up the Hardy Boys together, I mean, a push to thumbs up.
Hardy Boys, thumb in the middle. Jeff Hardy, I guess middle, because we haven't done anything. Matt Hardy, thumbs down.
Yeah. Totally agree with you on that one.
I mean, I think this guy's going to be a thumbs up from all of us, but I guess we have to mention Gian.
So this is actually kind of weird because, like, I love this first year, and then he got the belt, and I was like, okay, this is not an interesting title reign. Oh, good job. That was cool.
Thanks.
That was awesome. You say it works on my side, on my end. Raise your hand. No.
Hey, you raised your hand.
No. So honestly, I mean, honestly, I actually consider doing a push to thumbs down actually at one point, because I feel like after his first year when he got the title, kind of got boring. Outside like maybe the Kingston feud a little bit was all right, but other than that, I've been kind of meh.
Sir, I need you to click that button that says raise your hand and put your hand down.
Oh shit! So there. Holy crap! Hold on. Lower hand.
Yeah, there it is.
I'm gonna go push. I'm gonna
go thumbs up for Gian.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thumbs up too. And to me, he's another one, like you were saying with Brian. Like, I think this Blackpool Fight Club, whatever the fuck they're calling it, like that has helped me become more of a fan of him in AEW again.
Yeah, it was pretty rough when he came back. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
But now that there's meaning behind the way that they got there, I'm for it.
I will say as much though. Since come back from his little sabbatical, he's training to a thumbs up again. So.
Yeah.
I will say.
All right, this next guy is a guy that I'm slamming thumbs down, and you will never convince me that it's not a thumbs down right now. I'm gonna Baskin Robbins in his glory. I'm gonna go with Keith Lee.
Oh my God, they literally signed him so that they had someone to wrestle every week on Dark.
Yeah, thumbs down for me.
Wow. You let the Dark guy fight on Dark.
That's
wow.
Wow, Joe just went there with the Dark comment on Dark. Wow. All right, moving on before we get canceled by some kind of FCC member somewhere.
It's gonna happen sometime.
Shen. I mean, I think Kyle O'Reilly is the same thing as Bobby Fish. I think it's thumbs down. So I don't necessarily know that we need to.
Yeah, I feel like Red Dragon just kind of gets lumped together.
Yeah.
Although at least he's not doing whatever the fuck version of Orange Cassidy he was trying to do in NXT.
Thank God. Next up, a guy again. I'm slamming thumbs down, and I don't think you can convince me otherwise. He was red hot when he came in, and now he's about as fucking cool as the other side of the pillow. Malachi Black.
I'll say push, only because the first, say, 4 or 5 months was solid with him and Cody. But been shit ever since.
If we weren't at the show that he debuted, I would have even been like, yeah, this is a fucking slam dunk no.
I mean, House of Black's potential to be good, but it's about booking.
Sure. If this House Torture, Death Triangle, House of Malachi Blackish, Blacklist feud is cool, then maybe.
I'll go push for now because I enjoyed the first couple months of him being there. We're still less than a year from him getting there, so.
No, I'm a thumbs down, and it makes me sad to be a thumbs down.
Yeah.
I really.
He should be
Oh,
thumbs up.
I want to be thumbs up so bad because I love watching Malachi Black wrestle. I just
Exactly.
It's just not
That's
good.
That's 100% exactly how I feel. Like I want to be a thumbs up so badly, but
It's not good.
it's just not there. No, like he should be someone that like should be in a title picture of some sort.
Put him on Tony Khan Presents Ring of Honor.
I mean,
I would much rather him be there.
he's a character. He's a guy that should be in your world title scene, and like he's not even close to sniffing it right now in AEW.
No.
Not wrong. Next up, a guy who's been on the shelf with an injury that was having a pretty good run. Miro.
I'll go thumbs up because the run was good with the title.
I'm gonna go up because the only reason why he hasn't been seen is because he's hurt.
Yeah.
It's not like a lack of booking him. It's not like a lack of him being on the show. He's literally hurt.
I wasn't a big fan of the whole thing with him and Kip Sabian, but once he got out of that, it was fucking sky's the limit.
Yeah, once he got out of that, things were a lot better. I feel like. Once he was no longer the best man.
I think also that was simply something designed to just, he's gonna turn on me eventually, and he's gonna look like a fucking juggernaut. Right. Who's someone that we can have him throw around? Kip Sabian.
It's a logical pad, in other words.
Yeah, it worked. So I'm gonna go thumbs up on Miro.
Right. Me too.
The current Ring of Honor World Television Champion Joey Samoa.
Too early, right?
I feel like it's too early.
3 weeks only.
I mean, I was gonna say push because he's wrestling for AEW. He would be on commentary more likely than not for WWE because I don't know if they would let him get cleared.
Right.
So, but him on commentary is great. So,
yeah, sorry.
I mean, I guess we can talk about him because he's been not really used, and they tried to overhype this guy's bring in for some fucking reason. The premier athlete, Tony Nese.
He's a push. He's not doing anything more than he was doing in WWE, which basically being on their version of AEW Dark 205 Live.
Yeah, I go push also too.
That's really it. None of the women have really had extended runs, with the exception of Tony Storm, and I'm gonna go.
Ruby Riott.
I'm sorry. Ruby Soho. I'm gonna say thumbs down on Soho and on Tony, just because they haven't done shit with either one of them.
Yeah, valid.
Is she the only female defector?
Tony and Ruby.
So far.
Okay. That's only too early too. She just got there.
They're not bad. They're crap.
Why is Ember Moon still hasn't shown up?
I was just saying that earlier today. I saw her.
I think it's an Ember decision.
True.
Could be.
What's she gonna do? Go be part of the fucking Jade Cargill baddie section? That's it. That's all I got.
All right, Joe, your topic.
Yeah, I don't even know what topic to go with right now. Oh my god, call up the list. Do you have the list?
Oh, hold on. Let me go over here to the other page.
Let's go to the list. Let's close it up.
Let's see. We have. Well, the only random topics that I have on here are top heel turns, best ECW gimmicks, big stars putting over wrestlers in their last matches, least favorite world title runs, and top managers of all time.
I'm not feeling inspired by any of those.
I mean, if this week is the Take Two Wrestling podcast and we go to Wrestlers of the Week, it's not the end of the fucking world.
Yeah, we got an hour in content.
I mean, that's fine with me. Like, I wanted to do the pyramid, but that's gonna work better if there's 4 of us.
Okay, but we'll do next week, obviously.
Yeah, if Jim's around. Yeah.
Next week also has WrestleMania Backlash preview as well.
Backrash.
What's up, Craig?
Well.
And I mean, Yeah, I'm okay with just moving on. I can't think of anything.
I
Because
will
like, if it feels weird to do the one night Randy Orton Tag Team Partners tournament, like.
Oh wow.
I will say though, save the
Later, buddy.
that list for future like spin the wheel thingy.
Spin the wheel.
Spineth the wheel, maketh the deal.
I can do that like next couple weeks.
All right, Troy.
All right, rest of the week.
All right, rest of the week. I went first last week, so one of you numbnuts can go first this week.
You went first last week, Joe, didn't you?
No, I went first last week.
Oh, Joe went first before that though.
I don't.
Sure.
I don't even know who I'm picking. Go ahead. Go first.
I'm going first. I got Scorpio Sky, new TNT champion.
Shocker!
Oh.
In other news, water is
Shocker.
wet, ice is cold. I'm gonna go with the new TNA World Champion. Give me the walking weapon, Josh Alexander.
Oh.
Ooh, that's a good one. I guess from that same show, I'll go with Taya Valkyrie.
Noise.
All right, next one here. I will go with Dax Harwood.
There you go.
Just because I want to be the second person in the history of this show to state this, my pick this week, after going 2-0 in title matches at Game Changer Wrestling last weekend, the tag team of Effie and Allie Catch, Bussy.
There we go.
Bro Seth.
You know, I think it's more Bussy for the record. Because it's supposed to be pronounced like.
I know. I'm trying not to get canceled.
But you can't get canceled. That's a term we use in the gay community.
I'm trying not to get this show canceled.
It's okay. I don't Elon Musk. We're good. Free speech.
Free speech until he blocks you. And then people are like, but that's not free speech. Yes, it is. He just doesn't want to see what you have to say. He's
Right.
letting you say it. The fuck do you don't understand free speech? You can say it. He just doesn't have to fucking read it.
Right.
What the fuck do you mean?
Okay, my
You all are
next
morons.
I'm going to take the most obvious one this week because happy anniversary, Randy Orton.
Damn it, I had that one. Damn it.
You're an idiot.
All right. I'm going to go. Shit. Should I go to returning Asuka?
I mean, you were always going to.
No, I have 4 people I have to choose from here. Fuck it. Go
Yeah, but you were always going to go for the. Because you're always good to go for a return or a promo or like. I don't know. They had his favorite food and catering this week. Like, you're always that person.
Let's go Asuka, though. Asuka.
Now I'm thinking because there's 2 guys that I'm pinballing back and forth on. Two guys and a female I'm pinning back and forth on.
Who you got?
The two gentlemen, both one of them retained their championships, one won a title, and the female won the Warrior Wrestling Women's title, and that was Athena, aka Ember Moon.
Right.
The 2 men, the new X Division champion is Ace Austin, and the Matt Cardona retained the AIW titles. So now I'm like, Matt Cardona.
I love that for you.
You.
I guess I need a last pick, huh?
Honorable mention Tomato Champs for making his Raw roster debut.
No, fuck that. I'll just give him. He'll be my last pick.
Oh, Tomato Champs.
I got nobody else.
I will say this. It seems like he might be joining whatever the fuck Edge is calling that fucking crew. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
I saw a post on TikTok about like, oh, could you imagine if it's Liv Morgan, Finn Balor, AJ Styles, and an undisclosed person versus Edge, Priest, Rhea, and Tomato Champs. I could get behind that match.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
It'd be fun. Oh, I think the fourth member was Ali, because that's who Tomato Champs fucking beat up. You got anything else?
No, that's about it for me. Other than fucking Tony Khan, fucking please letting. You see that fucking boss at Sammy Guevara last night? Top of the fucking ladder.
I watched the two of them do stupid shit, if that's what you mean.
Yeah. The fuck you doing, Tony? Fuck us up. I swear to God, dude.
You won't do shit.
Yeah, of course you won't do shit.
I'm saying you won't acting over like you're gonna take your money somewhere else.
I haven't really been AEW locked in the last couple of months, so
Yeah, whatever you say, bud.
But
follow me on Twitter at They Call Me Burn. Follow the show at Take Number 3 Wrestling. Follow me on Instagram if you want Fat Kid Certified SE. WrestleMania Backlash next week, so we'll do the preview show next week. That's all I got.
Joe?
I'm tired. I worked a lot today.
Oh, I don't blame you. I'm turning 42 on Sunday, so old ass fucker.
Oh shit! It's your birthday.
Yeah, May 1st.
He loves that for you.
Old as fuck, dog. So Earnestly Podcast, of course. All podcast catchers. EJ Christian 7 on Twitter. Get at me on there. Shout out to the Mountains Wrestling guys who are getting picked up by the Chair Shot Network this week. My guys Rob, DJ, and Jason. Doing a great job, of course. And of course our 3-Con guys. Matt, I'll see you fucking in a couple days in fucking game 1 of the Heat and Sixers. Your boy
Let's go Celtics.
Other than that, I'm good, guys.
All right.
Bye.
Okay, bye.